It's really hard to find good games to play on the Steam Deck or ROG Ally because not all games benefit from being handheld. A lot of people seem to be liking Elden Ring on it, but for me, I just can't seem to get good while holding the chonky Steam Deck and would much rather prefer to play it on a TV. But on the other hand, some games just feel better on the go on a portable handheld. We all know Hades is amazing on the Steam Deck, but I want to go over a few of the games that I really love and have been playing a lot on my Steam Deck this past month. If you've played any of these games already or see something you might end up playing, go ahead and drop a comment and let us know what you think of it. My name's Jason, and here are my top 5 Steam Deck games this month. I'm not usually a fan of these types of games, but Dave the Diver has really captivated my attention this past week. Many people are comparing it to Stardew Valley, not because of the life and farming simulation, but mostly because of the comfy feels you get while playing it. At its core, Dave the Diver is a goal simulator. You're given tasks to complete and then you go do them, thus completing the dopamine rush in your brain while you play on your Steam Deck, avoiding all of your real-life responsibilities. You play as Dave, a diver who pairs up with a sushi shop owner to hunt for and deliver the most delicious marine life you can find. Your day is divided. In the morning, you spend your time by going in the ocean to hunt fish, locate treasure, and uncover archaeological findings. At night, you manage a sushi shop using the fish you painstakingly dove for. You will create the menu, serve guests, hire employees, and even grind the wasabi. This never-ending cycle of dive, sushi shop, is a nice change of pace while going through the game's storyline. And it's not as easy as it looks. Managing your sushi shop and making sure all of your customers are satisfied can get difficult the farther you get in the game. And diving deeper and deeper while fighting sharks with only one bullet in your gun can be quite the challenge as well. There's lots to do every day in the game, mostly because people know you go diving all the time, so they start hitting you up to find stuff in the ocean for them, like coral, rare fish, or even ancient ruins. They obviously pay you for your time, which you can then funnel into the Bancho sushi shop to make even more money at night. And what will you do with that money? That's right, get better at diving. You starting to see the loop here? It's a never-ending hamster wheel of progression and power creep, but instead of destroying monsters in hell, you're serving up tuna on rice on a quaint tropical paradise. Along the way, you meet a cast of hilarious and charming characters who help you on your journey, like Duff, the arms specialist, neckbeard extraordinaire who can transform hunks of metal into underwater projectiles to help you while diving. Every character you meet in the game has a wonderful and unique personality that makes interacting with them an actual treat and not just an NPC slog. The dialogue between all the characters is funny and really keeps you engaged with the story. And while I did end up playing it on the ROG Ally, I tested it on the Steam Deck and it runs incredibly well. The indie and colorful graphics really pop on the screen without any graphical tearing, glitches, or slowdowns. It's the kind of game that is actually better on a handheld in bed than it would be on your computer monitor at your desk. The core gameplay loop in Dave the Diver has been insanely addicting. You'll tell yourself, just one more dive, then just one more sushi night, over and over until it's 6 a.m. and you start to see the sun coming out. There really is something about perfecting your gameplay in this charming indie title. If you usually aren't into cozy games like this, I really recommend you give it a try. There's just something so satisfying and so perfect about Dave the Diver that plays out extremely well on the Steam Deck. I recently took it on a 5-hour flight and it entertained me the entire time. I refuse to believe that no one has at least heard about this next game, but I'll introduce it anyway. In Stray, you play as a cat who has lost their way from their kitty friends and finds themselves trying to find their way back amidst the detailed, neon-lit alleys of a decaying cyber city and the murky environments of its seedy underbelly. While there might not be hardcore cat-on-cat fighting, this third-person adventure game is a fun and thrilling experience that has you finding clues, solving puzzles, and talking to robots to solve mysteries to then find your way back where you came from, and it's starting to sound a lot like Undertale, but I promise it's way different. The game isn't really about overcoming huge, difficult challenges like in Elden Ring. It's more about the journey than the destination. The setting of the game takes place in a seemingly futuristic nightmare hellscape that is full of robots and a pretty spoopy little story of how the world got to this point. You don't talk directly as the cat, but you do find an AI of sorts, which is basically just a small flying drone, that you befriend that helps you along the way. So you can talk to robots, hold objects, and do a lot more than a simple cat would be able to do. Exploration is a huge element of the game, having you interact with different environments from the eyes of a cat, which is actually way more different than you'd expect. A human would just walk through the door after turning the knob, but a cat has to walk around the building and find an open window, or meow a lot outside the door hoping someone inside comes to open it. It's this kind of novelty that the game offers in spades, allowing you to explore every nook and cranny of the world from a much smaller perspective. If you're a cat lover like me, there are a lot of very cute Easter eggs in the game, and while yes, you are from the perspective of a cat, you sometimes forget that, until the game allows you to scratch up someone's couch endlessly, or purr when rubbing your face against something. It's these interactions that make the game memorable and more than just a silly adventure game. The team at Blue 12, the studio who created the game, put a lot of work into the details of the game, not only while being the cat, but also seeing how the inhabitants of the world interact with each other. Every character you meet has a unique personality that sets them apart from the other robots. They help you proceed through the story as you try your best to make your way back to your gaggle of cats. What's a group of cats called? Let me Google it real quick. Google says they are called a clouder. I refuse to believe that. Stray plays very well on the Steam Deck, and the graphics are just as beautiful as they would be on the big screen. I didn't have any major graphical issues while I played through the game, and solving puzzles was way more enjoyable on the Steam Deck than it would have been otherwise. Unreal Engine is the powerhouse they used to create this gorgeous game, and the Steam Deck is able to really showcase all the details in the world and captivate you even on the 7-inch screen. If you're a fan of cats, adventure games, or even just exploration, then I think you would enjoy Stray as much as I did. The next game on this list is something that my friends and I have been playing for nearly 10 years at this point. This action-packed archery game is all about sharpshooting, fast reflexes, and some good old-fashioned arrow-slinging fun. TOWERFALL Ascension is, dare I say it, the perfect couch multiplayer game. You and your buddies will take control of nimble archers, battling it out in fast-paced, chaotic arenas. The controls are smooth and intuitive, making it easy to pick up and play, even for those new to the archery genre. The game boasts a variety of game modes that keep things fresh and exciting. Whether you're going for the classic last man standing mode or diving into the co-op campaign, there's something here for everyone. I can't stress enough how much fun it is to gather around with friends or family and engage in some epic arrow battles. The controls and gameplay are simple to learn, but difficult to master. Each arena is like a puzzle waiting to be unraveled. You'll find hidden paths, power-ups, and traps that can turn the tide of battle at any moment. The game encourages experimentation, like me when I was in college, and you'll discover new strategies and techniques the more you play. Oh wait, did I mention the arrows yet? You'll find an assortment of arrow types, from standard ones to seeking arrows and even drill arrows. It's a hilarious time when you accidentally grab bomb arrows and blow up yourself after being so confident in your win previously. The game's art style is charming and pixel perfect, with colorful visuals that harken back to classic arcade games. It's a nostalgic delight for old school gamers, but it doesn't feel outdated. Now let's talk about the single player experience, since this is a Steam Deck video after all. While TOWERFALL Ascension really shines in multiplayer mode, the single player campaign offers a solid challenge. You'll face off against AI controlled archers, each with their own strategies and quirks. It's a great way to hone your skills before diving into multiplayer madness, and offers its own kind of fun. One thing to keep in mind is that TOWERFALL Ascension is best enjoyed with friends. While the single player campaign is fun, the real magic happens when you're sharing the excitement with others. So gather your crew, fire up the Steam Deck on the TV, and get ready for some epic archery battles. But what really makes this game truly special is the feeling of pure joy that comes from landing that perfect shot or pulling off an impossible dodge. It's the kind of game that elicits laughter, cheers, and bringing people together while not feeling overly toxic and competitive. TOWERFALL Ascension is a timeless classic and has been enjoyed between my friends and family for almost a decade. No matter the age or skill of the gamer, I believe this game hits the coveted audience of everyone and should be in every single person's Steam game list. What originally started off as just a tech demo turned into a full-blown, super fun co-op game. I randomly played this with my brother for a few minutes once, and then I later found out that he went out of his way to purchase the game and beat it 100% on his own. And this is coming from a person who doesn't really game all that often. So if he loved it, I'm sure you will love it too. This is the wacky world of Human Fall Flat. This game is a delightful physics-based puzzle platformer that'll have you scratching your head and laughing out loud in equal measure. You control a little floppy boy, aptly named Bob, as he stumbles and wobbles through a series of surreal and gravity-defying levels. Controlling Bob is like trying to herd my 7 cats. Kind of annoyingly difficult, but that's actually kind of what makes this game as fun as it is. It's a delightful challenge trying to coordinate his movements, and you'll find yourself giggling at the absurdity of it all. This game is not about precision or perfect execution, it's about embracing the chaos and enjoying the ride. The puzzles in Human Fall Flat are like little brain teasers that require creative thinking and experimentation. You'll be manipulating objects, swinging from ledges, and using Bob's noodle-like limbs to overcome obstacles. Each level is a sandbox of possibilities, and there's no right or wrong way to solve the puzzles. It's all about finding your own zany approach. And like most games, this one is peak when you gather your pals for some cooperative chaos. Working together, or, accidentally or on purpose sabotaging each other to solve the puzzles is an absolute riot. And you'll find yourselves laughing at the stupid outcomes of your collective efforts. But don't worry, if you prefer to go solo, the single player experience is just as enjoyable. It's a more introspective journey where you can take your time and fully immerse yourself in the quirky and quaint world. The game's art style is whimsical and charming, with a touch of surrealism that adds to the allure. It's not about hyper-realistic AAA graphics, it's about embracing the whimsy and overcoming the wonky physics that make the game so endearing. I'll say Human Fall Flat is not a game for everyone. If you prefer highly polished and linear experiences, this might not be your cup of tea. But if you're open to a lighthearted and unorthodox adventure that celebrates the joy of exploration and discovery, then I can't recommend it enough. To wrap it up, the game is a wonderfully bizarre and unpredictable journey that celebrates the joy of playfulness and experimentation. Its physics-based puzzles, quirky level design, and hilarious moments make it a perfect choice for anyone who wants to embrace the chaos and let their imaginations run wild. This next game on my list is one of my top 5 games of all time, and it's something I think every Steam Deck owner should play. This is Final Fantasy VII Remake. And just to preface, if you have not played the original Final Fantasy VII, don't worry. You don't need to play it to enjoy this game. It's a standalone experience that might be appreciated more by diehard fans, but newcomers will love the game just as much. Final Fantasy VII Remake brings back the classic turn-based combat system that fans know and love, kind of, but it gives it a big, fresh, and modern twist. Battles are more dynamic now, with real-time action that keeps you on your toes. You'll have a blast strategizing and executing your moves as you face off against iconic enemies and bosses. And while you mostly control one character during combat, you can swap between characters and execute their abilities on the fly. This adds a layer of strategy as you utilize each character's unique abilities to overcome various challenges. It's immensely satisfying to seamlessly switch from Cloud's powerful sword strikes to Barrick's long-range attacks, and then into Aerith's healing spells. And if you haven't played the original before, you probably have no idea who those people are. Exploring the world of Midgar is a treat in itself. The game has stunning visuals that breathe new life into the beloved locations you might remember from the original. Whether you're navigating the bustling streets or delving into hidden corners, every inch of this world is crafted with care and attention to detail. The cast of Final Fantasy VII Remake is a true ensemble of memorable personalities. From the brave and stoic Cloud to the fiery and spirited mommy who I think about every night, Tifa, each character has their own story and motivations that add depth to the narrative. You'll quickly find yourself invested in their journeys and rooting for their success. The storytelling in Final Fantasy VII Remake is nothing short of masterful. The game expertly weaves together emotional moments, action-packed sequences, and thought-provoking themes. Apart from the random anime grunting sometimes, Square Enix has somehow made a game that was destined to be just another remake to an actual masterpiece of storytelling. The game features a stellar musical score that perfectly complements the game's atmosphere. The iconic theme songs are back, reimagined and enhanced to match the new game's overall theme. This is not a short adventure. The game offers a substantial amount of gameplay that'll keep you engaged for hours. As you progress through the game, you'll also encounter a variety of side quests and mini-games that add even more depth and length to the experience. Plus, with the promise of future installments, and the next one confirmed for 2024, there's even more to look forward to in this epic saga. If you play any game on this list, please make it this one, even if you've never played a Final Fantasy game before. As long as you like action games, I really believe you will be blown away by this, and it runs wonderfully on the Steam Deck and even better on the ROG Ally. If you've played any of these games before and you want to leave your personal review, or if you have some Steam Deck games that you think should be on the next list, please leave them in the comments. I love talking games with y'all and seeing what the community is playing these days. Please like the video if it brought value to you, and get subscribed for more Steam Deck and technology content. My name's Jason, thanks for watching.